Hello everyone. The theme of this article is the Japanese view of love. Unique, unexpected differences from overseas. Love is one of the most easily influenced human relationships by culture. By knowing the differences between the Japanese and overseas views of love, you may be able to understand intercultural love and international couples better, and find hints that will help you build better relationships. Let's take a closer look at the differences in love from various angles. Chapter 1: How Love Begins. Confession culture versus dating culture. Japanese confession culture. A distinctive feature of Japanese love is the confession culture. The starting line of love is to directly tell the other person how you feel, by asking them to go out with you. Since a couple is only recognized after this confession step, many people place great importance on the timing of the confession. This culture is particularly strong during student years, and confessions at graduation ceremonies and special events are one of the scenes that symbolize Japanese youth. On the other hand, there are also an increasing number of cases where relationships begin naturally without confessing. In recent years, with the increase in social media interactions, the tendency to show feelings through actions rather than words is becoming more prevalent among the younger generation. Dating culture overseas. In contrast, in the West, dating is common. There is no one decisive moment like a confession, but rather a relationship begins naturally over multiple dates. In this process, the status of exclusive, a relationship in which you only date a specific person, may be implicitly formed. In addition, the spread of dating apps has further diversified this process. Especially in urban areas, the culture of casual dating, in which you go on multiple dates with many people in a short period of time, has become widespread. The culture behind the differences. In Japan's confession culture, there is a deep awareness of avoiding misunderstandings and clarifying relationships. On the other hand, in other countries, the culture that emphasizes free and flexible relationships is reflected in the dating style. Chapter 2: Differences and Expressions of Affection. Modest Japan and proactive overseas. Modest expressions of affection in Japan. Based on the culture of intuition, Japanese people tend to show their affection through their actions and attitudes. They rarely use the word "I love you" and tend to use indirect expressions, such as helping with housework or showing consideration. Many people are also reluctant to have physical contact in public, and even holding hands can be embarrassing. Recently, this trend is gradually changing, and there are more and more examples of younger generations expressing their feelings directly through social media. However, the attitude of showing through actions rather than words is still common. Active expressions of affection overseas. In contrast, in the West, affection is actively expressed through words and actions. Direct compliments such as "I love you" and "You're amazing" are used daily, and physical contact is also part of the culture. It is not uncommon to see couples kissing in public. In addition, expressions of affection can sometimes become even more dramatic due to the influence of movies and dramas. This is due to a culture that values self-expression, and the idea that it is good to express emotions without suppressing them. Issues lurking in the gap in expression. These differences in expressions of affection can sometimes lead to misunderstandings in intercultural relationships. For example, if a Japanese person shows a modest attitude, their overseas partner may think that they are not loving enough. In order to bridge this gap, it is important to understand the cultural background and make compromises. Chapter 3: Dating Culture and Cost Sharing. Japanese male leadership versus overseas egalitarianism. Dating culture in Japan. In Japan, it is common for men to plan the date and pay the entire cost. The idea that men should take the lead is deeply rooted, especially on the first date. There is also a tendency to prefer dates that leave a lasting impression, such as eating at a restaurant or watching a movie. However, in recent years, the culture of splitting the bill has gradually spread. The awareness of supporting each other has increased, especially among the younger generation, and casual dating styles are also on the rise. Splitting the bill culture overseas. In contrast, it is common to split the bill on dates overseas. In countries with a strong sense of gender equality, sharing the cost from the first date shows respect for each other's financial independence. Outdoor and casual cafe dates are also popular, and many of them are unconventional styles. Misunderstandings caused by differences in who pays for expenses. In the case of international couples, if the Japanese man takes it for granted that he will pay all the expenses, the overseas partner may feel that it is a burden. Conversely, the Japanese may feel that the overseas partner is cold when he proposes to split the bill. These feelings can be resolved by knowing the cultural differences. Chapter 4: Views on Love and Marriage. Introducing your family and the steps to marriage. The relationship between love and marriage in Japan. In Japan, the timing of introducing your partner to your family is very careful. Usually, this is done when you start to seriously consider marriage. This is because family introductions are considered an important ritual that symbolizes a formal relationship. The casualness of family introductions overseas. In foreign countries, it is common to introduce your partner to your family and friends from the early stages of dating. It is considered normal to deepen your relationship with your partner through interactions with family and friends. Therefore, even if a Japanese person feels that it is too early, your overseas partner may casually invite you to family gatherings. Differences in views on marriage. In Japan, marriage is often seen as the goal, and love tends to be seen as a process to achieve that goal. On the other hand, many people in the West do not believe that marriage is essential, and in some cases, the emphasis is on enjoying love itself. Cultural understanding is key. Understanding these differences in views on marriage will make the relationship between international couples smoother. It is important to discuss your ideal vision for the future, while respecting the other person's values and lifestyle. Chapter 5: How to communicate. To deepen cross-cultural understanding. Communication influenced by culture. In Japan, communication is more common, reading between the lines and facial expressions than words. However, overseas, it is important to convey emotions and opinions in clear words. This difference often leads to misunderstandings, so special care is required in cross-cultural situations. For example, if a Japanese person conveys their opinion in a roundabout way to show consideration for the other person, the overseas partner may perceive it as unclear. On the other hand, when an overseas partner expresses themselves frankly, the Japanese person may feel that they are harsh. Chapter 6: How to build a long-lasting relationship. Respect each other's differences. The power of love that transcends differences. Understanding and respecting cultural differences is the key to building a long-lasting relationship. For international couples, a positive attitude towards differences and using them to their advantage can create deeper bonds. For example, it is important to enjoy the differences in daily life, such as food culture and how to spend holidays, as new discoveries. This will deepen your bond with each other in the process of learning the other person's culture. Summary: How to make a cross-cultural relationship successful. Differences in views and styles of love may surprise and confuse you at first. However, by understanding and accepting those differences, cross-cultural love will become deeper. Please use the confession culture, expressions of love, sharing dating expenses, views on marriage, and differences in communication introduced in this article as a reference, and enjoy a wonderful relationship while learning about cultural differences. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to our channel and give it a high rating. Thank you for watching.